go, another Brocante, another bike. Well, I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I've got another bike. Niet mijn exact, Jacques Anquetil. I bought a bike for €10 and I'm just going to pick it up when I remember where I put the keys. No way! Oh yeah! Hi and welcome to my new channel, the Mizet Vintage Bikes. If you'd like to follow some stories about vintage bike purchases and restorations, then this is a channel for you. I'll be restoring in this series a Frejus track bike from the 1950s, 1960s. This is it. I'm part of the way through it now and I'm going to put out the first episode. It'll be a story of about 4, maybe 5 chapters. So if you're interested and you'd like to follow this adventure, then please like and subscribe. Come back to the second part and the third part. Thank you and let's get cracking. A sunny Sunday morning in France. Brocantes abound. There are bargains to be found, collectibles, antiques and even bikes. This is a 1954 Italian track bike that I spotted at a Brocante. It was rusty, very rusty. Why did I buy it? Because of the chain, the transmission system I'd never seen before, but I'd heard my wife's stepfather talk to me about it because he used to be a racing cyclist decades ago. So I bought it and started looking at it. The crazy thing is I didn't notice all that rust. I was just obsessed by that chain, the drivetrain, and the fact that it was an Italian track bike. Well, turns out that this bike had a lot going for it. There was a lot of work to do, and this journey is all about this bike. So first thing I did was actually just look at the bike and try and work out a plan of attack. What am I going to do with it eventually? Will I redo and rebuild completely? That all depends on the possibilities and if there are any showstoppers on the way. The second thing is, would I just disassemble it and sell the parts? Track bike. Single speed fixie. Campagnolo on this weird 1 tooth in 2, similar system with the links and a lovely steel stem, track handlebars. This is mostly just dust. Okay. Need some TLC for this chain. And the sprocket. It's going to be really weird working out what to do with that. So the first thing, try and work out a plan for the project. What am I going to do with it? And reassess regularly, even on a daily basis. So to dismantle the bike, I start off with leaving it complete and spraying very powerful penetrating oil on every single threaded and contact surface on the bike and leaving it overnight. Just squirt some release fluid virtually everywhere because she's gonna be one of those jobs. Going down to this end, the definitely pedals. There's nothing worse than steel against aluminium. I'm not too optimistic about what's going to happen with this chain set, but let's just see. Don't know what's that. That's just part of the frame. Okay, down here. Onto rock nuts. Turn the bike around. Handlebars. Rear side of the pedals. And again with that's it. Then the next morning, again with a slightly less powerful penetrating oil, still strong WD-40 penetrating oil, and then organise the tools and start. Now the showstoppers on an old frame are the following. One, the stem. Can you get the stem out of the frame? So in order to loosen the stem, you need to keep the bike intact and block the front wheel between your feet and knees, and use your arms and knees to manipulate the bike. The same goes for the saddle. Always leave the bike intact when you're trying to remove those. So the showstoppers, I've had a bike in the past where the stem would not come out of the frame. It was just impossible. I've also had a bike in the past where the handlebars would not come out of the stem. All these metal contact areas are potential showstoppers. Unfortunately quite rare, but once you are stuck with a welded or basically a fused, and once you're stuck with two fused components that will not move, then it's end of story basically. So the showstoppers, potential showstoppers, are the stem, the handlebars, the seat pillar, and the pedals. I've had pedals also that won't come out, so spray both sides of the threaded parts of the pedals, remove those. Since it's a truck bike, there aren't many components to remove, and so it's quite a quick job, and I was very lucky, or perhaps I used the right approach to put powerful penetrating oil everywhere and letting it soak overnight. Okay, first job is to take off the chain, which means I'm going to take the chain set off and the back wheel out, and perhaps remove the sprocket. I'm going to soak the chain, try and remove some of the rust or all of it if I can. Strange. I didn't think that was going to fit. Right. Okay, so that was pretty lucky. I didn't think that the dimensions of this were really going to fit this chain. So we've got it extracted. The link is still firmly in one of the plates. And that's good, because putting it back together can be tricky. Next. Always remember to remove the washer when you take one of these out. Do not forget that washer. Okay, so taking the pedals off at the same time. It's wrong way around. You always get any itchy nose when you've got greased up hands. Wow, God knows how I'm going to unscrew that. I don't have an appropriate chain whip. Ha ha ha. There's no locking ring. Good grief. Okay, we'll see. Trusty 50-year-old chain whip made by my father 50 years ago. It's not going to happen. Nope. Neither the gripping tool. Yeah, WD-40. And to the rescue. Do that tomorrow. Well, it looks like it's a 52.5 centimeter frame, so maybe it was made to measure or made to order. Okay, that's a wrap for this first video. It's a 1961 Frejus track bike. Originally it was chromed underneath all that paint and rust. It weighed in at 9 kilograms fully assembled. Managed to attack all the pain points, all the risky showstoppers such as the stem, the seat pillar, the pedals and the cranks. The only other possible showstopper there is probably the bottom bracket. That's in the next video, the bottom bracket, the headset, that famous skip tooth or 1-inch pitch sprocket we've got to remove, and then disassemble and relace and rebuild the wheels because one of them has an issue, and that basically will be part 2. So this bike was basically a very top-end bike. It had the best Campagnolo record hubs, chain set, the skip tooth or 1-inch pitch drivetrain was kind of cutting edge at the time and is very much sought after on the internet. It's not really what might appeal to somebody who just wants a track bike, a vintage track bike, because this will probably triple the value because the drivetrain is one specific, very difficult to get sprockets. They're very expensive. If you wanted to change the sprocket, it would cost you about $100. So I might have to think about one more time what I'm going to do with this bike. I've kind of changed my mind depending on what's been going on with it. Several times a day, particularly when it came to looking at the paintwork. So that's it for today, or that's it for this episode. If you've liked it, please like it, and you want to come back to see the rest of these videos because there should be 2, and then I have a couple of projects I'd like to do with this, then please subscribe, help the channel grow. It's totally new and there'll be plenty of old bicycle fun videos for you to watch. Thank you.